What do you think? Do you think that this is just a situation where the prosecution, and look, a prosecutor is supposed to achieve justice, not just a conviction. In this case, do you think it was a situation where there was just so much public outcry and support for the Lindbergh family that they felt compelled to just get a conviction, whether or not it was just or not? But ultimately, do you think that Hauptmann was not involved in any way?
I do. I think that Hauptmann was framed. If he had been involved, they would have had an easier time framing him. Okay, for the whole thing. It was
Right.
clear that more than one person was involved. It
Hmm.
took 2.5 years for them to, follow up on the investigation. And one of the things that happened was that on the beginning of May 1933, someone turned in $3,000 worth, approximately, of gold certificates that were part of the ransom, to get them exchanged, because that was the last day. I think it was May 133 that FDR permitted gold certificates to be turned in. After that, it was a misdemeanor to be using them. And that person who signed for it with a apparently fake name was not Hauptmann. The state's handwriting expert said this was somebody else, and they never figured out who that was. There were other indications, especially Condon. Condon described talking on the phone to someone with another person in the background. When they thought this was a gang, that's what he described. He thought these were members of the gang. And even worse than that, from the perspective of trying to make this a lone wolf crime, was the original go-between, Curtis, who preceded Condon. And Curtis said that he met with 5 or 6 different members of the gang that supposedly kidnapped the child. This is before the body was found.
Hmm.
And he was suspicious of this whole thing, so he took a lot of notes, and he described to the police in detail what these people looked like and where they took him. And then Curtis, when the body was found, all of a sudden was accused of obstructing justice. First, he was accused of a hoax, that he wasn't telling the truth. And on the day of his trial, the prosecution switched gears and said, yes, we accept that you're telling the truth. You obstructed justice by not coming forward with these people sooner. So maybe I don't know, it wouldn't be that the child wouldn't die, because they know he died before Curtis was even part of the case, but in catching them. What was very peculiar about that is, having made that determination that Curtis was telling the truth, that there were at least 5 other people, 5 or 6 people, none of whom were Hauptmann, resembled Hauptmann, involved, they turn around in 35 and prosecute Hauptmann as a lone wolf.